What's going on, guys? It's Danny from Slow Restoration, and today we have something coming. It's another marketplace find and purchase. However, I'm not picking it up. The guy was able to deliver it, which saves me time and probably money too for fuel. Of course, we're going to give him something for delivering. So I don't know about you guys, but marketplace has become a big issue for me, addiction maybe. But anyway, it's definitely the place to find, buy and sell stuff right now, and I'm glad we found this. We have some plans for it. It's going to need a little bit of light touch up, I think, but we'll see. I haven't seen it yet. We bought it sight unseen, and it'll be here in a couple minutes. So what do you guys think it's going to be? I'm anxiously awaiting it, and can't wait to check it out and get working on it. I do hear it pulling up. He's backing her in now. So here it is. We got it unloaded here. Some very nice guys. I really appreciate them delivering this for us. We just got off a big trip and I wasn't really looking forward to driving again. So they were nice enough to deliver it for us. And it's pretty much everything they said it was. We do have to get it running. The guy said he did hear it running and actually drove it around a little bit. The back brake is locked up. It's kind of normal for drum brakes when they sit for a while, so we'll have to address that. Probably rebuild the brakes in the back at the same time. If we can find the parts, we'll rebuild the brakes. I'm sure someone's got to have something somewhere. This does have the big front load. I don't know if that's an Eaton rear or what that is, but this is a 1953 Chevy 4100, so it's the bigger truck. The cabs are all the same. The fenders have a bigger wheel opening, and of course the frame is beefier. So we popped the door here. Interior's actually not bad for what it is. 1953. It's got this really cool vintage fan. I'm anxious to see if this stuff works or not. All the gauges are there. We'll jump inside real quick. I actually haven't even sat in this thing yet. Very tight in here. You wouldn't want to take a huge road trip. You're literally sitting right on the steering wheel. So we'll have to figure out all the quirks. I'm sure this one's no exception. It looks like it might be the push button. That's the dimmer switch. Where's the start button? Doesn't seem to. That's just an on-off switch. Oh, start button right here. So it is a push button start. We have the battery unhooked. It's 1953, so it is still a 6-volt system. And it echoes like crazy in here. I don't know if you guys can hear that or not. Like looking out over the hood here, the split flat windshield is it's very nostalgic. Very classic looking. I can't wait to drive this thing around. So we need to get this thing running ASAP so I can have some fun with it. Just kind of panning around the interior here. We'll get you over here so you can see what I'm doing. Here's the old emergency. I think this was add-on. I don't know if this was factory on these trucks or not, but they all seem to have it. You can hear that click. That's for your emergency flashers if you're broke down alongside the road. C, that's for choke. This is very old. It's carbureted. It does have a choke. T is for throttle. So if you want to idle this thing up, you can pull that out. It's kind of a manual. I guess it could be like a cruise control going down the road if you so choose to. This is your turn signal switch. Again, it's an add-on. And this fan is just cool. Looks like it's got maybe leather blades on it. But just look at the side of that thing. Little on-off switch here. We really need to see if this thing works. Maybe we need to hook the battery up here real quick. 1988 was the last year this thing was inspected. And this is a little different than my 55 Series 1. Those trucks have a one-piece flat or one-piece window, not the two-piece flat with the divider. So a little bit different. The body style is very similar though. The dash setup is very similar. So this will give us kind of an idea of how That truck looked originally inside too. Again, it does have the original seat. It's probably been recovered at some point over its life, but who knows? Maybe that is original. It's not perfect. Ain't got much cushion left on it. You're just kind of sitting on the springs, but it's there. Handbrake, it seems to work. Brakes obviously are on the floor. We'll have to address that. The back brake is locked up, and I'm sure the hydraulic part needs some love. So we'll get that checked out. Clutch feels good. Throttle's working, and again, there's the starter button. So you turn the key on, and then you push on that to actually engage the starter and start the vehicle. There's the speedometer, and it does say 90 mile an hour. I would be terrified to be 90 mile an hour in this truck. I'm sure it would sound like a absolute tin can, and yeah, I don't think we're ever going to see. This truck probably would never go 90 mile an hour. It does have the original 6-cylinder. It's probably a 4-speed trans, and these trucks were not made for speed. They were made for work. So it's very tight in here, and I figured I'd just go ahead and give this a shot, but the seat actually still does adjust. So as you push this up, you can move that whole seat front and back. Kind of crazy that still works in it. Windows do roll up and down. Most of them have some bubbling and cracking. Like, I mean, that's still one piece, but it's cracked from the outside. You can't feel that crack from the inside, interestingly enough, but and that side has a crack in it too. The windshield's actually not cracked at all, but it does have the fog. This is safety glass, so it's got like a plastic in the middle, and the old glass gets bubbly and starts to fog up from the edges. So but it's the look of this old truck. So the steering, this truck does not have power steering. You had to be a real man to drive one of these trucks. It was stick shift only. I don't think you could get automatic in the heavy duty trucks at all, so you had to know how to drive stick from 1953, and manual steering. So as you can see, it's got a little bit of play in it, but again, these trucks don't go fast, and they were made for work, and it's a 1953. It's got some wear and tear on it. And here's the original VIN plate, and crazy enough, this thing actually had a 14,000 pound GVW. The old wooden flatbed is still there. Definitely in need of some repair. Might need some new deck boards. Got rod spot up here and a big hole, piece missing, but workable. And again, this truck has a cool look to it. Let's go ahead and pop the hood, and it does still have the original 6-cylinder. This does have a fuel tank under, or not under. The fuel tank in these trucks was behind the seat. It actually has a fill on the passenger side. They have that unhooked for right now, and they have this like lawnmower gas tank feeding the engine just to start it. And like I said, this guy did have it running, but when he tried to start it to load it, it didn't start. So we need to investigate a little bit. You can see these fuel lines are really cracked and dry. We'll have to do some replacement for sure. But he did turn it over, and the engine sounded good turning over. It didn't sound clunky or like it had no compression. It had compression, so there's not a whole lot to them. They're points. He did throw another coil on it, but that didn't fix the problem. So we'll get inside the distributor here and see what we can do to make this thing run. And then we need to address that back brake and see if we can get it to pop loose. I think it's this side. Yeah, you can see where that tire's been dragging. All right, I can't stand it. So pop the cover off here. It's got a little knob you twist. The battery in these trucks sits down in the floor. Go ahead and hook that up, and we need to see if this vintage fan here works. Let me climb up in here. There's the switch. Oh, look at that. Look at that. That's amazing. that was worth the price of the truck right there. Check out this old heater too. It's got Chevrolet right on it. I guess this is the flap to go up to your defrost or blow it out for your feed heat. That's cool. Also, we did it's missing the emblem off the front, the Chevrolet piece on the hood, the front of the hood. We did get that, but the clips are actually kind of rusted out, so we'll have to get some new clips to reinstall that. Let's go up front here. This is the piece I'm talking about right here. It looks like someone tried to put the edges are broke off. Either way, let's go ahead and pop the hood and we'll get this checked out. Before we actually go under the hood, take a look at this bumper. That thing is not bent at all, and the reason for it, this thing is like 1/4 inch thick plate steel. This is super heavy duty for these trucks. So pop under the hood here. It is the original straight 6. It's got the original horn on it. Does have the lawnmower gas tank on it right now. We do have to still hook up the gas tank behind the seat. So we need to dive in here and see where we have power and see where our problem lies. If I had to guess, it's probably either the points or condenser. Like I said, they did put a new coil on it, but it's still not sparking according to the guy we just bought it off of. So let me dive into this and I'll show you what I find out. The tank set, the fuel tank for now set over to the side, and again, these things are really simple to work on. There's not a whole lot of moving parts. Here's the distributor cap. They have these little metal tabs. We'll pull these off. There's one on either side, and we can wiggle the distributor cap, take it off. We look inside, back inside, make sure the key's on, definitely out of gear. We'll give it a couple pumps of the gas.